Right in on guard of honor for pharmacy.
Yeah.
Any or medication allergies that you know of?
Nope. Baba. Hey, Baba. Hey, baby.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and let Matt know she's ready, okay?
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Who's that guy? I have no idea. And I go, and then.
Hi guys,
Hi.
thanks for coming in. All right, how are we doing?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So big thing we need to do is med refills, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you talked to Tracy on Friday, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So big thing is I'm concerned that, it seems to be a pretty consistent thing that we're, waiting till like the very last day.
And
for
I don't
things.
wait till the last day.
Okay.
And that's why I was confused of why you called DHS
Mm-hmm.
and told them that I wait till the last day, because that's
Okay.
not what happens.
Okay.
So
Tell me what's going on.
I was just I was hoping that you would like feel the need to talk to me, and we could like, instead of escalating it to
Okay.
DHS, because she could get taken away from me because you guys didn't talk to me first.
Okay.
The problem, it has not been that I wait till the last minute. I have been told, please sit down, that because it's a controlled substance,
Mhm.
I can't get it filled before 4 days.
Okay.
4 days until she's completely out. So I call the pharmacy. They send you something. You guys have 48-hour policy. So 48 hours gets here. She's only got a day left.
Sure.
Sometimes you're not here.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's 72 hours. And then during COVID, pharmacy would be closed randomly,
Mhm.
and I would have to take her to the ER because I didn't want her to miss her medication.
Sure.
But you told them I had to take her to the ER. If I didn't care that she didn't have her medicine, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
I don't want her to go without her medicine.
Right.
So, I'm trying not to cry because for 22 years, I've never had a doctor say one thing. I've never had a doctor that I've not been able to get her medicine filled on time.
Okay.
Except for since we started coming here. It's like a constant thing. They'll say you're out of the office, or I'll call and they said, well, we didn't receive anything from the pharmacy. So that's already a day taken off that 4 days.
Right.
And I'll have to call the pharmacy and they're like, oh, well, we submitted something. So then I call you guys and you seem irritated, not you, but the front desk, that I'm calling again because I'm stressed out that she's not going to have it by the time she's supposed to have it.
Right.
And I have to do this every month.
Right.
Every month, I have to wait until she has 4 days. And then if it's over a weekend and you're not here on Monday, so then that's another 3 days.
Right.
So it's not that I wait till the last minute. It's that I cannot get it before because of a law or whatever is going on in Oregon. And I don't know if it's new, but and since we've been with you, the whole COVID thing happened.
Right.
And the pharmacy was closed
Right.
randomly, and I wouldn't know. Or if I didn't call to get it filled here until, at 8 o'clock in the morning, then you guys take 48 hours. And then you call it in, and they're closed by 5 o'clock.
Right.
And then sometimes it would be the whole weekend.
Right.
So there was a few times that it didn't get filled in time, and I had to take her to the ER.
Right.
But that's not what you guys said to the DHS. You basically made it sound like I didn't give her medicine, so I had to take her to the ER. They didn't know. They thought you meant she was sick because I didn't give her her medicine.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to take her to the hospital. And that's not what happened.
Right.
I just didn't want her to go without.
Sure.
So it's really, really hard because something that simple that we could have talked about, you escalated to DHS and you could have my daughter taken away from me.
Okay.
And in 22 years of doctors, we've had the same doctor for 19 years. She saw the same neurologist.
Right.
Never once did I have a problem getting refills.
Okay.
It's just been in the last couple of years, and I don't know if you guys changed your policy to 48 hours, and then when you're not here on certain days because you come in half days or you come in, and then I call because I haven't got anything from the pharmacy, and I call and you guys say, oh, well, we didn't get anything from the pharmacy.
Sure.
So I call them, and so I'm waiting on other people
Okay.
to get her medicine.
So definitely there's been some pharmacy problems, at least
Yeah.
in the last year and a half in Roseburg in general. There's been a lot of pharmacy issues. My concern was, when I sat there and I was like, man, like I feel like every single time, like it's like we're running out of meds and then it comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where the disconnect or breakdown is in that level of communication, but my intent was certainly not to get your kid taken away.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's like, if you sat with it and thought about it and said, I should probably call her because I need to figure this out.
Right.
You never brought that like concern to me, and so we could have had this conversation, and we could have tried to figure out how this is, how we can
Okay.
make it so it isn't the last minute. I've never had that problem before the whole COVID thing. The pharmacy, it would take a day or two to get her stuff filled, and
Right.
it's not taking a day or two to get her stuff filled. And with some law that just got put in place a few years ago, I don't even know when that happened, because every other doctor has sent in refills for 3 months.
Right.
And so I would just have to call the pharmacy and they'd have it filled that day.
Right.
3 months, and so I never had issues. It was
Okay.
never a problem. And it's really hard. I've been her whole life, having 4 different places I have to fill all these different things, and I've never had issues with filling her medications.
Right.
So having DHS show up at my door was heartbreaking for me, especially when you didn't talk to me before you did that. So please understand that this is 22 years of taking care of Isabelle. And the one little thing, instead of talking to me, you could have put her in jeopardy, taken out of a loving home for a miscommunication. So maybe think about that in the future, of going to a parent who there's no reason why you would have thought that she's being neglected.
Right.
I bring her in when you guys want me to bring her in. You just saw her a month and a half ago. And then we had a phone visit shortly after that. So they're telling me that you said I miss appointments, which is not true. I don't miss appointments. And that I'm waiting till the last minute to get her meds filled, and she has to go to the ER because she's sick. And that's not true. I've been told by the pharmacy we can't send it over yet because it's the law. So all of that to be said, I don't know what more I can do as a mother with all of these roadblocks
Restrictions.
in the way.
Sure.
To make sure that every month I don't have to call. And the reason why I sound panicked when I call is because most of the time it's right before the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're gone on Mondays. And so then that's an extra day.
Right.
And then the pharmacy, if it's closed randomly, and that's what happened when we went to the ER, is the pharmacy was closed without my knowledge.
Right.
Because they didn't have enough staff.
Sure.
So it's never been something that I don't want to give her meds. I get very panicked when I don't have any communication with
Yeah.
when nobody's getting back to me, and then when I do, they're like, that was what happened this time. I called the pharmacy on Wednesday or Tuesday. They said they sent you guys over something.
Right.
And then I called here because I hadn't heard back from anybody, and they said, we never got anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I did my part.
Right.
And then it still didn't happen. And so I panicked because I'm like, it's Thursday.
Right.
And you guys have a 48-hour policy. And then she made that very clear that, sorry, 48 hours, you know, instead of like working with me and saying, you know what, I know this is a hard medication. And it made me feel like just, I tried,
Okay.
you know.
And I've been thinking about what to do, like, since this kind of started. And so this is my thoughts going forward, okay? And I'll put it out there, and if you like it, we'll talk about some options moving forward, okay? What I'd like to do is I'd like to see you every 12 weeks, okay? 3 months, 12 weeks. The reasoning for that, what I'd like to do is change it to where I will provide you with a paper prescription for all 3 months. Okay. So 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. And the reason we're doing 4 weeks is I've also had a lot of problems with, okay, so I give you 30 days worth of medications, but what if a month has more than 30 days in it? Some months have more, some only have 30, some have less than 30.
Right.
But then what if your 31st day happens to happen on a Sunday or the 4th of July?
And all of those
something
things
like
have happened to me.
Absolutely. And so you're not alone. There's been a lot of problems with how do I, A, take care of you, B, not get in trouble with the DEA or someone else for doing stupid things with a controlled substance. Okay. So I have to have a balance between those two. Okay. My priority number one is take care of your kid. Okay.
And that's my priority. And
Absolutely.
that's why I was very hurt and knowing that she's always been my priority and she's always been taken care of.
Okay.
So that's my priority.
Okay.
And if you can do that, it would make things so much easier.
Exactly. So we have to, what I want to do is I want to eliminate as many people between you and me as possible. Okay, because I feel like every person you go through adds a day to the process.
It does.
It's not rocket science. We should be able to do this at this point, right? So this is my plan and thoughts, okay? So what I want to do is I want to give her 4 weeks worth of medications, okay? Why 28 days, 4 weeks? Because what is 4 weeks from today? 4 weeks from today is still going to be a Tuesday, right? So if your pharmacy's open on a Tuesday, it's probably still going to be open on a Tuesday, okay? Then every 4 weeks, that'll be another Tuesday, another Tuesday, another Tuesday. So that your date that you're due for things isn't turning into a Friday, because now 30 days, 31 days, now it creeps closer to a Friday. Or what if that Friday happens to be, oh gosh, now it's Thanksgiving and you know everyone's closed on Wednesday. So what I want to do is I want to empower you to be able to have control of the situation, so that number one thing, you're going to come in and see me every 12 weeks. Before you leave today, you'll have an appointment in 12 weeks. And then what we're going to do is at that visit, I will write you the prescriptions. I will physically give them to you. And that way you will have positive control of them for the entire 12-week process.
That works for me.
Okay. And then
and her caregivers too, because then if they get down to 3 nights, you know, we know, take it into or 4 nights, take it in the pharmacy, because it can't happen before that. She does have an appointment for the neurologist, but it's not until October.
Okay. So, and then the feedback I got from the neurologist was that they had called and hadn't done
They
that.
didn't. So I talked to them. They had the wrong address. They said they mailed me a packet. They had called one time, and I'm you know.
Yeah. I got
totally meant like it,
nope, I gotcha.
and so, but if I would have gotten a packet in the mail to fill out this new patient information, it would have been different than a phone call, a message left, and then it's easy to just get in my voicemails.
Nope, I gotcha.
But that was something that was very easily explainable too, you know. And when I called them, they had the wrong address, so they had numbers screwed, and so I never got what they sent me.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. Okay. It was not out of an intent to harm you or to get your kid taken away at all. It was purely out of a level of concern. Okay. From my point of view, I see an awful lot of people that maybe don't have the level of care that you do for your kid and love.
Yeah, and I understand that.
Okay. And I will be straight honest with you. I am by nature a skeptical person because I have certainly seen a lot of like really shitty things, pardon my French, with people doing what they do to their kids.
Yeah.
And so my rule of thumb is, if that thought process crosses my mind, oh man, I wonder if something's not quite right here. And my thought wasn't you're neglecting or harming her. My concern was maybe either A, you're in over your head, B, you're not getting the support you need. And that was my bigger concern too, was like, is DHS doing the right thing? Are they providing you with care? Are they providing you with breaks? Are they providing you with caregiver support? You see what I'm saying? Like,
it formulated into a investigation, and they show up. I mean, I don't mind if people show up and want to see where she lives, and because my house is perfectly perfect for her, and so that isn't what bothered me. What bothered me is they made me feel like I'm
a bad parent.
Well, and that I'm neglecting her. Okay. Never have I neglected her needs. I mean, she's healthy and she's loved and she's taken care of, and I have concerns. I mean, she's just not neglected, and so I just wish and I hope in the future for other people too, you could have communication with them before you escalate something like that, because it is something that DHS has very, very long history of. If you get the wrong person, they're not gonna ask questions like this man who was very, very nice, and there's things that, you know, even though their house might not be the best, but they're loving parents. If they come in and their house is messy and they think that, you know, the parents are hostile, they'll take kids. And not my situation, but just for you in the future to think about those things. That if you have concerns, please, we would have talked about this. We would have had this like conversation before, and it wouldn't have had to. Now that's on her record as I had a DHS investigation, you know, and I pride myself on being a good mother and taking care of her, and that just like hurt me a lot. So, but yes, I think that's a great idea. And then, you know, she's going to be with a neurologist, and they'll be able to take over her seizure medication, so that won't be something that you'll have to do anymore.
So, so moving forward, what I'll do is I'll print you out 3 paper prescriptions, okay? So we can fill them sequentially in 4-week blocks, so that'll be a Tuesday, because I'll write one for today, 4 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 4 weeks from then. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to see her back in 12 weeks. Okay, so when you check out, make sure you have an appointment on the books for 12 weeks out from today. That way you've got the power to be able to do what you need to do between now and then. And then we've also got a solid on the book appointment, so it's not on a day that I'm not here. I have the appointment, it's 12 weeks. Unless something drastic happens, I'm sick, or, you know, I am human, it does happen. But hopefully we'll eliminate the need for anyone else to get involved in it. I will empower you to be able to provide the best care. I will take care of her by providing the right care for as block as we can. Yeah. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry. Okay. Again, it was not done maliciously.
I understand, and I know that you're a mandatory reporter. I totally understand all of that stuff and you having to take your concerns, you know, it's just something that we could have talked about, you know, it's very simple.
Okay.
And so that's my only, I mean, if she wasn't getting medication and she was out for days and I wasn't taking her to the hospital to get medication, all of those things, I understand that, but this is like something we could have really worked out and figured out.
We'll leave it where it is. It's water under the bridge. We'll move forward.
Okay.
And hopefully, you know, we'll make a better plan. And if this is not working, let me know.
Okay.
And
I will.
If we can adjust the plan to better fit how we're going to do things, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I expect that her neurologist will be, you know, taking over those
Sure.
seizure meds. So that will be something you won't have to do for very long.
Perfect. And like I said, we'll move forward with this.
Okay.
So give me a minute. I will print you out a couple prescriptions, and that way you won't have to worry about me being engaged or there being a lack of communication between the pharmacy and me and them and the staff and everyone else.
Okay.
We'll just cut all that out.
Okay.
Okay.
I
will provide you the paper prescriptions. You will have positive control of them, and that way you will be able to be empowered for the next 12 weeks to do what you need to do.
Okay. Perfect.
Reasonable?
Thank you. Yep.
Questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Thank you.
All right.
Carried it all. Thank you.
Hang in tight. We'll
Okay.
chat here in a couple minutes, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay.